Can you tell us that Vegas story about your buddy pulling those markers or whatever?
I think that story it takes about 30 minutes to tell. I was a prankster. I played that prank on Devin Setaguchi and Tori Mitchell, and literally scared Tori Mitchell to jump out of a window. Right, so I would go on Spit and Chicklets and listen to Tori Mitchell tell the story and me tell the story on that. But this was a lot of money. I hired a professional Hollywood company to do it, special effects company, and it was probably one of the best pranks of all time. But to scare one of my teammates to jump out a double pane window, and wild. run 3 miles before we finally caught him. You've achieved the best prank ever.
You got a favorite piece of sports memorabilia?
Well, I think my silver medal is pretty spectacular. I'm going to keep that very close. I have signed sticks from probably the greatest players of all time. I have a Michael Jordan jersey that he signed for me. I have a Bobby Orr signed stick. I have a Bobby Orr, a Bobby Hall Gretz. I mean, I have some of the best shit ever. I have a Tretiak sign stick. So I have a lot of things that I really enjoy, that I have, that I'm going to save for my kids. But I wasn't the biggest memorabilia collector, but I made sure that when I did meet greatness, that I saved something from them.
How about, did you get any good dressing room pranks back in the day?
It's kind of hard when you're in a dressing room. You always have your little ones that you always had to go through. Like, you got to make sure when you pick up the hair dryer that there's not baby powder that was dumped in the middle of them. I can't even tell you how many times my socks were cut in half when I put them on, that my ties were cut, my arms, my sleeves of my shirts were cut. How many times I used to pull my helmet off the top ledge, to come down, and people would put the glasses of water underneath. And just how many times people put Scotch tape on the bottom of my blades before I went out there, cutting a stick almost to where it was broken. So that first shot, you went flying on the ground. So many little things that guys would do in the locker room to play jokes and stuff like that. Those were the usual ones. Yeah. Okay.
So Old Town Scottsdale has a place called Dirk's Bentley Whiskey Bar. Have you ever been there?
Mm-hmm. Great. Yep. I actually partied there with Kid Rock. At one point, myself and a couple of friends of mine and Kid Rock, we partied there extensively for one night. It was a lot of fun. Great bar, right next to Bottle Blonde, which is another crazy night spot in Scottsdale.
Yeah, that whole block was awesome. And that's where we went for a stag last summer, and now I can't wait.
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, I do not hang out there anymore. No. Trust me.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Pretty sure a cartel guy tried to take me out. Hey, can you tell the rattlesnake story? Somebody sent me a text message to make sure I asked the rattlesnake story.
I had a bunch of them. I had a lot of them. I caught them in my garage. I used to catch them on the golf course. I actually chased around one of the guys I was playing with on the golf course because he was beating me. Picked up a rattler and chased him up the fairway. Scared him so bad that he ended up double bogeying the next couple holes. And I actually caught a snake one time, and I wrapped it around. It wrapped around my arm, and I brought it in the car, and I drove home so I could scare my wife with it. And I walked in, and she's making the bed, and told her I brought a friend home, and she literally, clung to the ceiling in complete horror. But I don't know anybody that would drive home with a rattlesnake wrapped around his arm just so he can scare his wife. So yeah, I was never afraid of those. You just got to stay away from the front of them. Those mouths are pretty dangerous, but they have no arms or legs, so you just got to be careful with them.
JR, do you get out to BC much in the summertime? Do you do any golfing out here?
I haven't played golf there since the 2010 Olympics.
Okay.
Some great golf up there, and actually played actually played in Kelowna one time, and
Probably Predator Ridge.
yeah, I wouldn't even remember the golf, but they have some spectacular places to play.
Right.
A lot of rain, not too much time to play golf, but I've gotten to play a few times up there. It's one of my favorite areas of the world. You know, it's one of the most beautiful parts of the world that I think everybody should get to see at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just don't fly Air Canada.
Exactly. Actually, Air Canada, last time I flew, they were a lot better, but I had definitely my most horrific trip this past summer with Air Canada, but it seems like they've gotten their shit together. Thank goodness.
Did Gordie Howe once throw a snowball and hit you in the face?
No, I don't know who told you that. No.
Okay. Oh, I thought I read somewhere about hitting you in the head with a snowball.
No, he dumped snow on my head when I was 7 years old. I was watching a Hartford Whalers practice, and I was hanging over the glass, and he dumped snow all over my head. I thought that was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And you know, I've told the story. You know, that it's why I treat the fans the way that they do, because acknowledgement is a very, very big thing for me. Gordie Howe acknowledged me when I was 7 years old. He didn't have to do that, but it was like the coolest thing that ever happened to me. And I talked so much about it. And I was able to do that for thousands and thousands of kids when I played, because Gordie Howe had such an impact on me. So it was just a snow dumping on my head. That's all it was.
What do you want your legacy to be remembered as?
Well, on the ice, I just a complete warrior and gamer. I wanted to be the guy that can come through in the big clutch situations. I wanted to be known as a guy who could hurt you on the scoreboard, who can hurt you with the play, or can hurt you physically. A guy that doesn't get pushed out of the game. You know, when you talk to the people that I played against, and you ask them to explain or talk about what I was like as a player, and it gives me a lot of gratitude to say, you know, when they say he was one fucking tough hockey player and one fucking good hockey player, that right there alone is a legacy that I want to be known for. But even more so, it was my the way that I treated the fans, and the way that I made sure that the fans knew that I was appreciative that they were there. I'd sign autographs in every single city until every single person was done. Even during games, I'd throw pucks to kids, or I'd take popcorn out of their bag, take the hat off their head, just play with them and just have some fun like Gordie Howe did to me, and make sure that they knew that I was that I knew that they were paying their hard-earned money for a ticket, and I appreciated it, and I wanted to give them the best show that I possibly could, and I didn't waste their money. And I will say, if you go to a lot of places and go to a lot of the guys that stand outside and have cards signed, or people that met me, they'll say that I'm nothing like sometimes the media portrays me to be.
Perfect. That's just it. And I know you're good. You seem very nice when we briefly chatted that time.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was getting the autograph, do you have a dream foursome for golf? And what's your handicap?
Well, unfortunately, right now I'm a +1, which doesn't well for me winning money, because it's too hard to win as a +1. I have a big golf tournament next week, which I'm excited. That's going to be on Golf Channel, so that's hopefully I can play well next week. As terms of my golf foursome, I mean, I've been asked this many times. I mean, I've played with some of the greatest guys. I've played with Michael Jordan. I've played with Charles Barkley. I've played with. I think playing with Clint Eastwood would be a lot of fun. I mean, I've played golf with Trump many times, so I've played with presidents. But I do think playing with Ronald Reagan would have been really cool. Playing with Clint Eastwood would have been really cool, and probably, you know, I don't know who that third person would be that I would like to play with. It'd probably be somebody back in history that was an avid golfer, like a real golfer, like Arnold Palmer or Gary Player, or you know, Sam Snead, somebody that had some serious history in the game.
You ever come across John Daly?
Oh, many times, many
Oh, I
times. I
fucking
played
love
with him.
that guy.
Yeah, that guy is 9 cents short of a dime. He's the best.
Huh.
He is definitely probably the wildest athlete that I've ever been around, for sure.
Yeah, I witnessed it when one time he walked out of a golf tournament here in Vancouver, and I was a little kid, and I'll never forget him because they wouldn't let him smoke on the golf course.
See, he just lives life the way he wants to live. And
Yeah.
if you don't like it, then see you later. He doesn't have time for that. And you have to love him for living the life that he wants to live and the way he wants to live it.